National Chief Cindy Woodhouse Nepinak, thank you so much for joining us. My first question for you is, things didn't go the way you wanted to in October. What are you hoping to achieve in the meeting next week?
Oh, certainly. Look, I think child welfare is always a priority. I think that it's an ongoing tragedy in this country. And I think that we have to continue. I'm so proud of First Nations and this entire country. We had record numbers of participation at that Special Chiefs Assembly on child welfare, and I think that it shows that everybody's vested in this to get it right. And it shows that we need to do more work and that the federal government needs to come back to the table with an expanded mandate. We've sent a letter to the minister asking Canada to expand their mandate to make sure that that we continue to push on this very important issue. It just affects too many people. It affects every First Nations family, and I think that we've seen the engagement from First Nations and Canadians from coast to coast to coast of this long overdue discussion that hasn't happened before. And I think that people never really want to talk about it, but it has to be talked about and it has to be fixed. And of course, it's still before the courts, and it's going to have to be dealt with one way or another.
Former National Chief Sean Atleo resigned after failing to pass an education deal with Canada, and now Chiefs voted against the child welfare deal. Do you think this is a message to the AFN that you shouldn't be trying to negotiate big agreements?
Look, I think that it's been in the courts. AFN had taken this back in 2007. It's always hard to have these national discussions, and I think that we have to continue. I think as the AFN, it's a political body that brings chiefs together to talk about really difficult issues from time to time, and I think that this is another issue that needs to be addressed one way or another. It can't go unaddressed. It's been far too long and far too hurtful towards First Nations families, and we've heard that loud and clear in Calgary, and look, First Nations want to get this right.
National Chief, there's a resolution calling for the AFN to apologize for comments the organization made against child welfare agencies that it accused of leading a campaign to defeat the final settlement agreement. Will you apologize? Will the AFN apologize for this?
Look, I think that there's a lot of work that has been done on this file, and we appreciate all the experts from right across the country. And I think that this requires further discussion amongst leadership. And certainly I know that right now First Nations are not in the driver's seat of child welfare. All funding continues to go to provinces and territories across this country, and First Nations have very little say. And so, I think it requires a lot of discussion about this important issue.
Switching gears here, National Chief, with the recent news of another First Nations teen being shot by police last week in Norway House, what do you think needs to be changed to prevent more of these kinds of tragedies?
Look, my condolences to the family in Norway House. My condolence also to the young boy shot and killed in Alberta, and the 12 other families, just as in recent months that we've just started to even count. It's appalling to see this happen in this day and age here in Canada, and we need to begin to start tracking that data. And my condolences as well to the family last night that I'd seen a video circulating on social media, and my heart goes out to all those people. John Wells' mother, who we'd passed a resolution to support that family very recently in Calgary. It's just so prevalent. It's just rampant on what's happening to First Nations people and Indigenous people in this country when it comes to police shootings and killings of our people, and then justifying themselves that it's okay. And it's not okay. And I think that First Nations have to begin to take a different look and find a different course of action on this. I know that we'll be speaking to our executive. We have been already on solutions going forward, and strong statements that will be coming from our executive momentarily on this issue, because when is enough enough? And it continues to happen to our people over and over again. And I can't imagine the mothers and the fathers and the grandparents having to get those terrible calls that their loved ones have been shot. It's so unacceptable, and First Nations are getting tired of hearing about it. It's hurtful to each and every one of us, and it's a black eye to Canada.
National Chief Woodhouse Nepinak, will have to leave it there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.